Welcome everyone to the Knoxville Civic Coliseum in honor of the fallen heroes that we've all known. On May 15th, the 35th Annual National Peace Officers Memorial Service was held in Washington, D.C. to honor those fallen officers across this great country. Today we are here to remember and honor those local heroes, those that we have lost and have sacrificed all. Being a law enforcement officer is a very inherently dangerous job, and all who take the oath of office must be ready to give their all to preserve the public's safety and should the situation demand it. Each day we wake up and prepare for work, kiss our spouses and children goodbye, not knowing but expecting to return home safely. Our days often start like everyone else's, but rarely do we get through a shift without some tragic crisis or incident occurring. By the end of the shift and the day, the officers are totally exhausted mentally and physically. I reflect back a time when I was a police chief in the city of Harriman. In 2004, there was a great tragedy happened to us, and if you know anything about the city of Harriman, it's very small. Some 20-something officers, so everyone knows everyone and their families and loved ones. I got a call one night on September 16th that I'll never forget. They told me that one of my officers was involved in a tragic auto accident. I remember getting dressed and barely remember driving to the scene. But when I arrived there, it was a scene that I would never forget. I had a 24-year-old officer that was killed in an accident. And I remember very vivid that night, seeing the blood trickling out of his ear, hanging upside down in that overturned vehicle. And the rain was so cold that it numbed you to the bone. I remember that they asked me who was going to tell the mom and dad about this incident. It was my duty to tell mom and dad. I remember driving 1 mile to their home. He got killed that close to home. And I remember the long walk from the driveway, which was less than 15 feet from my car. It seemed like an eternity to get there because I knew what was going to happen when they opened the door. I knocked at the door. I heard the footsteps coming through the house, and I knew it was the father. When he opened the door, he knew. He said, "Is Matt okay?" I said, "He's been involved in an auto accident, and he's at the emergency room." I said, "You need to leave and come down." His face, he knew that Matt had been killed. Even though it happened 12 years ago, I will never forget that tragic night. I know there's people here today that have lost loved ones, but our hope is in Jesus Christ, our Savior. And that's all we have in this life, is Him. He's our comforter. He's also our protector, and He protects us as we serve each and every day across America. But today, officers are expected to be perfect, function on demand, make split-second decisions that may change lives forever, including their own. Then we are criticized by the media, by sometimes politicians, sometimes our bosses, and even family members. But knowing all this, we keep going, and we report to those jobs each and every day because it's more than a job. It is a calling for each and every one of us that serve. In the 1990s, the authors of The Day America Told the Truth, they polled Americans about which beliefs they would die for. 48% said none. Only 30% would die for God Himself, and fewer would die for their country. That's what separates us from most people that have normal jobs that they report to work to every day. It has to be a calling to know that any second you're called on to give your life for those people you don't even know. Galatians chapter 5, 13 and 14 says, "For you, brethren, have been called to liberty. Only do not use liberty as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another. In one word, even in this, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. And may God bless all you that serve and all that have given all." Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. It's been a great pleasure and an honor before all my brethren, law enforcement officers. God bless you all.